Hi guys, we're here in Haeyeonji. That's my studio, the temple of peace and calm. This is where I hang out most of the time when I'm not on the road. And I want to talk about playing better solos, how you can get better at it. I'm assuming that you can already blast out a solo. So if you need advice on actually getting started, give me a shout and we'll look at that another time. But so often I get students here and they can knock out a solo, but they run out of ideas, within 10-20 seconds. So they're saying, how can we get better at this kind of stuff, without getting all these complicated books? We just have to keep doing it, right? Wrong. There's just so many ways that you can get better at this kind of stuff. And what they're after, what we're all after really, is ways of coming up with new and different and fresh, interesting, individual, exciting ideas. What I hear is, it just sounds samey, and we want variety in our lives, and so do the audience. So in the old days, people used to say, "You've just got to listen to the greats. You can't learn these things, you can't teach them." But it's just not true anymore. So there's lots of good stuff out there, and I want to give you some tips and tricks that hopefully you won't have come across before, that you're going to find useful with just improving it, just getting better at what you're doing. So we're not going to be talking about modes and scales and chords and harmony, etc. Not that they're not important, but we're going to be using our ears and our imaginations. So what I'm suggesting is that if you find a nice groovy backing track, something that you know pretty well, it's within your capabilities, 12-bar blues, Watermelon Man, that kind of thing. And we're using the shut your eyes and go for it and turn your ears up to 11, that kind of approach. But with a bit of strategy and planning and structure. I've got a whole load of tips, so we're just going to cover a couple of them to get started with. And I'm going to use a simple track of mine. This is just a one chord little groove. It's in the key of C. It's actually a C7 chord. So I've got the tenor in my hands at the moment. So for tenor, that's a D7. For the alto, that's an A7. You don't even need to know that. We'll just get going on it. So my first drill that I want to give you is to play for a while over any track, but obviously I'm going to use this one for a little while, using no notes shorter than a whole bar. So it sounds a bit simple, over simple maybe, but I'll do a bit of it and then we'll talk about it. Where has he gone? Here he is. So you get the picture. And what that's doing, those notes are so long that we're able to have a little conversation with ourselves. Am I pleased with my choice of note? Am I pleased I chose that one? And hopefully you are. If you're not, the next one's going to be better. And then the other conversation you can have is, where shall I go from here? Up a bit, down a bit. I can kind of hear the note I'm going for. So it's giving you time, it's giving you space, and it's training your ears. And then we can develop this first exercise. We call it number 1A, we'll call it. And no surprises, this time we're going to allow ourselves notes of 2 beats and over. So this track is going 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our shortest note that we're allowed. So I'll swap over to the alto and have a little noodle along those lines. Now, I'm always getting asked, and sometimes I forget to say what I'm playing. I'm playing Yanagisawa saxophones, and the reeds are Diodario reeds. Only the best. So now we're on A7, and no notes shorter than a half a bar. It can go longer, but it can't go shorter. Here we go. So it's quite hard. It takes a lot of discipline. What I mean by hard, it's hard to stop yourself chucking in a few do-da-da-dahlias, all that kind of thing. But give it a shot. Honestly, it's going to put hairs on your chest. Well, you lads, it's going to put body into your hair for you girls. Trust me, give it a try. Number 2 will be coming up soon. This is with a bit of luck, well, as long as you're interested, this will be the first of a whole sequence, because I've got so many of these tips and tricks up my sleeve. So, oh yeah, I was going to say, if you want the track, it's a track of mine, just give me a shout. You can contact me at snakedavis.rocks, and I'll email you that track, no charge. Feeling generous today. And stay in touch, and I'll be back soon with more.